all over the globe. My homies, shit, with my homies, the niggas is right there. Every day you pair with black boots, sometimes you switch it to night airs. Niggas everywhere like pro class or just like air. Me against the hottest that you know, this is sight there. How you the coolest motherfucker that's mad hot? Always stay in my groove on the move like a laptop. Teacher schooling the youngest, you get shot by a black cop, white cop, Sasquatch, foot on your neck. Anything you set your hand to do, just do it the best. I told you I'm the illest lyricist, I prove it to death. If you ain't standing up for niggas, then you muted, you deaf. I got some niggas in the grave that could be using your breath. True, and that's a fact, it's not a 2 Chainz quote. Break a record, fucking track up like them Usain Bolt. Floor rapping niggas, they garbage B. Pardon me, it's the art in me, but they talking funny like Cardi B. Not, but hell, this shit they ain't dropped yet. My homies worldwide like .org or .net. And we stay sharp, we smart, that's cause we studious. We come with fire with mountain word that was Vesuvius. With my homie, covering all bases. Preaching all black, they come from the hard places. With my homie, they be deep in the hood like a mechanic trying to make sure they peoples is good. With my homie, independent in the struggle, focused on the hustle in the cipher and the huddle. With my homie, in every city. With my homie, let's get it lit shit. Know who you spitting with, lock on that official shit. Professional is spitting and ripping, king of the written shit. I'm right up at the neck of opponents and hit the gristle brick. I spit it like them girls out the chopper and that's the pistol grip. Rapping with succession, if I spit it, you should listen shit. I spit that strong-minded, well-rounded shit you didn't spit. Slick as motor oil, you flow with oil, you all that chicken shit. All you over here, you order, but we ain't mixing with. UPK strong, UPK pop. Yo, I play the cut, listening and watching. My frame of mind ancient and your frame of mind pride. And I'm thinking like the niggas that hate it, picking the cotton. Every time I spit it, I'm trying to take up the top dog. When we in the cipher, it sound like we letting shots off. But I hit the bridge cause my record clean and I'm not soft. But rapping what I do, eat the beat and drown it with hot sauce. Rapping so many years, niggas can't figure this nigga out of mind. They fucking antithesis. Rapping disappeared, I'm just trying to make it clear. Everybody trying to get on like me or my man visitors. My presence when I'm rapping made them fucking band Christian. Your presence when you rapping like a fucking ventriloquist. We run the world like Ferdinand Magellan. I say with my homies we melting like St. Helen. With my homies covering all bases, preaching all black. They come from the hard places. With my homies, they be deep in the hood like a mechanic trying to make sure these peoples is good. With my homies, independent in the struggle, focused on the hustle in the cipher and the huddle. With my homies, in every city. With my homies, let's get it litty, nigga.
Shalom, Yabashim Yabakata. I'm priest to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemal, Kambashim Yabashai. I'm priest and officer Kamada, holding it down from Southern California. Also holding it down for Vegas. This is the Lashawan Qadash class. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of Warren West, Harlem, New York. It started out of Warren West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahana. Today, I'm gonna skip the characters and the pronunciations, and we're going to go straight into the topic. This week for the Sabbath service, we're going to be reading from Genesis chapter 30, verse 4 through Genesis 31 and 9. So I was going into. So let me write this down. So this is the Lashawan Qadash, Salakia. Let me just write this down real quick This is the Lashawan Qadash, Lashawan Qadash. These are the Hebrew ancient characters. Here we have underneath the Assyrian characters. Nonetheless, you still pronounce them the same, Lashawan Qadash. If you was to be reading it, this is how you be reading it in the English, Lashawan Qadash. The root word here is Lashon, which means tongue. The Wa in here is the doing of the tongue, right? Qadash is holy, which means set apart. So this is a language that is set apart. What does a tongue do? It creates vibration and it creates speech, right? It creates a language. That's what the tongue does. So this is a holy language, a separate language that's set apart unto so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so erase this. We're gonna go into right here, just so we could have it written. So we're gonna be reading Genesis 34 through 31 and 9. So if I could, I'm going to go into, just to kind of set the topic, break down a verse. And so we're going to start at Genesis 30, just to kind of give you some context. I'm going to start at, so we're reading from verse 4 through Genesis 30, verse 4 through 31 and 9. So I'm going to start at, just to kind of give you some context. This is when Rachel wasn't able to bear Israel, or Jacob at the time so like he got his name changed. So okay, so like he had not gotten his name changed yet. So this is when Rachel was not able to bear Jacob children. So the Lord, let's see. So what Rachel did is she gave her maid, who was Bilhah, unto so Jacob go into her, and that way Rachel was able to bear Jacob children through her maid, right, Bilhah. And just let me see, where am I gonna go? Okay, it goes a little bit further back. Salaki, let me refresh my memory. Just to kind of go back to verse 29 to start it right before it goes into chapter 30. This is when this is after Jacob already had served his 7 years and he received Rachel. And he served another 7 years until Laban, who is Rachel and Leah's father, another 7 years for Rachel. Right, and just to kind of give you some context, and it says, this is Genesis 29 and 30, and when he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So the Lord opened Leah's womb, because the scripture says that she was hated, and it's not like how you hate, um, someone and you commit evil unto them. He just had more love for Rachel than he did for Leah. He preferred Rachel, and it says, and when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. Right, so Leah, she conceived Reuben, right, and she conceived more children. Right, so go on to verse 30. Let me see where I'm going to start. 30 and okay, so like this was my topic for last week, but we had the Day of Atonement. Okay, so I'm just gonna go since it's talking about Rachel, since Leah conceived children unto Jacob, and also he gave his her handmaid, who was what's her name? Salakia. Her name is Zilpah, right? So Rachel bare children unto Jacob, and Leah bare children unto Jacob. Then Rachel wanted to give children unto Jacob as well. She couldn't, so she gave her handmaid, who was Bilhah, and Bilhah. Who did Bilhah have? To Jacob. Dan. All right, Dan. Right, so it's just going into how Jacob already married the sisters, Leah and Rachel, and then he got two more wives. So this right here proves that multiple wives is as righteous as the Sabbath day, right? And we're going to go into the 12 tribes of Israel. And then since we also celebrating the holy convocations, we're going to get the holy convocations in the Hebrew as well. So Salakia for for not having my topic properly ready. But we're going to go into the 12 tribes of Israel. Twelve tribes of Israel. The water for tuning in. If y'all could drop a like and also share the class, if y'all could, Baba Kasha. Leave a comment as well. So the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Because this is what the Sabbath service is going to be going into. So I'm not going to be reading, breaking down scriptures in the Hebrew. We're just going to go into breaking down the 12 tribes of Israel, because that's what the Sabbath service is going to go into. How these four women bear Jacob, who changed his name to Israel when he received the blessing. And these are in the Hebrew is Ha. So the 12 tribes of Israel in the Hebrew is let me write it down in the ancient. Ha. You know what? Ha Shanya Aishara Ha Shamya Shabathium Yasher Allah. So Ha Shanya I Aishara. So that's Ha is the, Shanya is 12. Shanya Aishara is 12. Shabbatyam is tribes. Shabbatyam tribes. Yashar Allah of Israel. 12 tribes Israel. All right. So this is in the Assyrian. Ha Shanya. Aishar. Shabbatyam. Yah. Yashar. Yashar Allah. Ha Shanya. Aishar. Shabbatyam. Yashar Allah. 12 tribes of Israel. So we're going to start off with the first tribe. We're gonna do 3 tribes at a time. 3 tribes at a time. Let me see how should I do it. Maybe like 1, 2, 3. So the tribe of Judah. Judah. Judah in the Hebrew is Yahawada. Yah Ha Wa Yahweh. Yahweh, and when you write it, Yah, Ha, Wa, Yahweh. In the ancient, Yah, Ha, Wa, Da. Yahweh. And it means Yahweh thinks. Man, you know what? It's a lot. Let me do it like this. Meaning, Yah, Ha, meaning is a Yahweh thanks. These are the so-called Negroes. So-called Negroes. Or Black Americans. And we have Benjamin. Benjamin in the Hebrew is Banyanyam. Banyanyam. Banyamyan. Banyanyam. Banyanyam in the Hebrew, in the ancient is Ban Yam. So Ban Yam Yan. Banyanyam in the Assyrian Banyanyam meaning is a son of the right hand. Son of the right hand. These are the so-called, these are the West Indians. So-called West Indian Islanders. Indian and Negro. So Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin, in the Hebrew is Bunyamin, and he is how you would pronounce it. So we have the ancient Hebrew Bun Yum Yun. In the Assyrian, same thing, Bun Yum Yun. The meaning is son of the right hand. These are the so-called West Indians, West Indian Islanders, Indian and Negroes. Then we have Levi. In the Hebrew is Laya, Laya. So we have a La, a Wa, a La, La, Laya. Laya, which means join to me. So the Ya, that's a possessive to mean me. So join to me. Join me, right? Meaning join to me. So-called so-called Haitians, right? This is the tribe of Moses, so-called Haitians, right? These three tribes would be considered the northern kingdom. Nonetheless, we are one stick. One stick is the 12 tribes of Israel, right? But that's how we're breaking it down. We have Judah, in the Hebrew is Yahweh, meaning Yahweh thanks. These are the so-called Negroes or Black Americans. Then we have Benjamin. In the Hebrew is Banyanyam, so like a Banyamyan, meaning son of the right hand. These are the so-called West Indians, Islanders, Indian and Negro. Then we have Levi. In the Hebrew is Laya, meaning join to me. These are the so-called Haitians. All right, so we're going to the next. We're going to continue with the next three tribes. Next three tribes, we have Simeon. In the Hebrew is Shammai one. You have some?
Can I? Now to play with it.
Shammai one. In the ancient characters, we have a Shah, My, Shah, My, one. Shammai one. Shammai one, meaning affliction heard. Affliction heard, so called. Man, Dominicans, so called Dominicans. Next, we have Zebulon. 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 In the Hebrew is Za, Ba, La, Zabalawan. Zabalawan. Za, Ba, La, Zabalawan. Meaning the meaning is dwell with me. Dwell with me. So-called these are so-called Central Americans, natives, so-called natives from Guatemala to Panama. So-called natives from Guatemala to Panama. Then we have a Parayam or Ephraim. Ephraim or Ephraim. Oh, Slovakia, that's what I forgot here. Zabalawan. Zabalawan. Then we have Zabalawan. Then we have Zabalawan. Slovakia. There you go. And we have Aparium. Aparium. Here. Aparium in the Hebrew is Aparayam. Aparium, meaning the meaning is fruitful. Fruitful, so-called Puerto Ricans. So-called Puerto Ricans. All right, leave it up real quick, and we're gonna get the next three tribes. So these tribes are considered the Northern Kingdom, but once again, 12 tribes of Israel are one stick. There is no difference between Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are the same people according to the Bible. right? We are of the house of Israel, which a house contains a family. We're gonna get the next three tribes. So the next tribe we have Manasseh. In the Hebrew is Manasseh. Ma na Manasseh. Ma na Manasseh. Manasseh. The meaning of Manasseh, made to forget. Made to forget. These are the so-called Cubans. The next tribe is Gad. The Hebrew is the same thing. God. Meaning the meaning of Gad is a troop. A troop, and these are the so-called North These are the so-called North American Indians or the natives of the Americas. Then we have Reuben. In the Hebrew is Rabban. Ra'aban. So we have Ra, A, Ra'aban. Ra'aban, the meaning. The meaning of Ra'aban is behold a son. Behold a son. These are the so-called seminal Seminole Indians. The Seminole Indians. So we have Manasseh. In the Hebrew is Manashah. You have it in the ancient, also in the Assyrian. The meaning of Manashah or Manasseh is made to forget. These are the so-called Cubans. And we have Gad. In the Hebrew is God. And we have it in the ancient, in the Assyrian. The meaning for Gad is a troop. These are the so-called North American Indians. And we have Reuben. In the Hebrew is Rabban. We have the ancient Assyrian. The meaning of Rabban, Reuben is behold a son. These are the so-called Seminole Indians. We're going to continue. Then we have the last three tribes. The last three tribes. Asher. Asher in the Hebrew is Ashar. Ashar. Ashar meaning the meaning of Ashar is happy. So-called These are the so-called natives of Colombia, to Uruguay. Then we have Naphtali. Na, Naphtali. In the Hebrew is Naphthalia. 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 And we have Naphthalia. Naphthalia. And it means my wrestling. Again, the Yah is what makes it my. Oh, it's like in the Napa. Yeah, meaning my wrestling. My wrestling. You have a question?
What is wrestling? Like, not like.
Say what again?
What does wrestling mean? Like my wrestling, like my comfort?
I would have to go into the let's look it up. No. Okay, hold on. Genesis 30:7. And here it's 8. So in Genesis 30:8, it says, and Rachel said, with great wrestling have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed, and she called his name Naphtali. So because wrestling, meaning that she was going back and forth with her sister, right? And because she prevailed, she named her son Naphtali. Okay. So Naphtali, and then we have the last tribe, which is Issachar. Issachar in the Hebrew is Yashakar. And fake Israelites pronounce it Yashashakar. And it is not Yashashakar. It is Yashakar. So it's Yash Shakar. Yash Shakar. And in the ancient is, I mean, in the Assyrian, Yash Yashakar, meaning he is my hire. He is my hire. So these are the so-called Mexicans. So we have Asher in the Hebrew is Ashar. We have the ancient Hebrew, the Assyrian Hebrew. The meaning is happy. These are the so-called natives of Colombia to Uruguay. Then we have Naphtali. In the Hebrew is Naphtaliah. We have the ancient Assyrian, right? Even though the ancient and Assyrian, the characters look different, you still pronounce it the same way. Naphtaliah. Meaning is my wrestling. So like I didn't put who they were. These are the so-called natives of Argentina to Chile. Right? Naphtaliah, meaning my wrestling, so-called natives of Argentina to Chile. And finally, we have Issachar. In the ancient Hebrew is Yashakar. It is not Yashashakar. It's Yashakar. We have the ancient Assyrian. The meaning is he is my hire. So-called Mexicans. Now I'm going to show you something in the Jewish encyclopedia, if I could. I'm going to show you something in the Jewish encyclopedia. Let me find it first so I can present this. Give me like 2 minutes so I can find it. Don't go nowhere. Let me show you something real quick. Let me retrieve this information. What? So lock it. Let me see. Books. Okay. Let me show this on. Let me present this information here. I'm gonna show you something in the Jewish Encyclopedia. This right here, what you see, let me enlarge this. That's I don't know how to make it larger. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, good. So this is the Jewish Encyclopedia. This is volume 2, Apocrypha through Benash. Right? So when you open to page so like let me see what page is this. Okay, so like I can't see the page. I know it's like 500 something. Okay. Anyways, let me present something else. I'm gonna read this where it says Ashereth, the name of the land beyond the great river. Let me see. Can y'all see this? Let me enlarge this a little bit. There we go. How does that look? A little better. Ashereth, which in the Hebrew, in the ancient Hebrew, we brought this word out before, which is Aratazah. The land, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of the restoration, according to 4 Ezra, which is 2nd Ezra, 13 and 45. Columbus identified. Okay, I'm jumping a little bit ahead now. Let me go so you can know. This is 2nd Ezra. Let me get this in the King James. So y'all can see that the Bible identifies that the Bible, the ISUPK has never contradicted the Bible. So we go to Apocrypha. Let me see. So 2nd Ezra. Let me present this over here so y'all can see what I'm doing. Here we go. Select it. So we go to Apocrypha. Oh, wow. Oh, where did my live go? Did it go blank?
Mm-hmm.
Check. Okay, Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
Salakia, I want quick second. Me. Why is it two? No sweat. How do I get rid of one? Okay, there we go. So Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra, 13. And 45. Second Ezra 13 and 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Ashereth. That's what we just read. Where is my what happened? Is that in another page? Oh, that's what it did. Okay, so like we have here, right? Aseret. Let me go back to this is Slovakia. Which one is it? Okay. 13 and 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year in the sea region is called Ashereth. Then dwell they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall say, hold on, where am I? Is that it? Salakia. Oh, I was supposed to start at verse 40. Salakia. Verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Osea the king, whom Salmanazar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. So this is when we fled the king of Osea, Salmanazar. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the of the heathen and go forth into further country where never mankind dwelled, that they might keep so like that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land, and they enter into Euphrates by the narrow place of the river. 44. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. 45. This is what the Jewish encyclopedia, when you read Ashereth, this is where they get it from. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Ashereth. Now this is in the Jewish encyclopedia. Let me go back. Let me go back to the Jewish encyclopedia. Ashereth, right? And we just read according to 2nd Ezra 13 and 45. Columbus, talking about the conquistador, identified America with this land. And it says, see Kaiserling's Christopher Columbus, translated by Dr. C. Groves, page 15. And I got that. That's right here. Columbus and the Jow, page 15. Three whole, so like, where am I reading from? Right here. He was also very fond of reading the Bible. Columbus was fond of reading the Bible. And the fourth book of Ezra. The fourth book is 2nd Ezra, which was probably written by a Jew, certainly, who lived outside of Palestine. According to his own assertion, the incentive that impelled him, talking about Christopher Columbus, to plan his discoveries was not a love of scientists. It's not because of scientists that he went out into the voyage that he made to the Americas, but his own interpretation of the prophecies of Isaiah. So Columbus used the Bible to find his way to the Americas, because he knew that that's where the 10 tribes would migrate to, because that's what the second book of Ezra prophesied. He found his way to the Americas. Let me go back. In the Jewish Encyclopedia, if you try to find this book, it'll probably cost you hundreds of dollars. Right? So Assyria, Columbus identified Assyria with America. Now, this is the question: who dwelled in America prior to 1492? Because Columbus made his voyage in 1492. I believe he touched down in October of that year. So who was in the Americas? Right? America, Mexico, Central America, South America. The 10 tribes that we just went over. The Southern Kingdom, who are part of the stick, which make the 12 tribes of Israel, who are a house. Right? This is information that the oppressor does not want us to get a hold of. And let me show you a precept in the Bible. Why not? And let me see, what's the time? Yeah, we still got time. Let me show you a precept. This is Revelation. Let me look for it. I believe it's Revelation 19. I think it's 1 and 7. Let's find out. Revelation. No, this was 19:11. Salaki, let me see. Revelation. Okay, see, Revelation 11:11. Here we go. Let me present this. This is the reason why the oppressor does not want us to get a hold of these books, because the truth are in these books. Revelation 11:11. And this is John the Revelator. He has this vision. And it says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them. So the spirit of life is the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Enter into them. Who's the them? That's us right now in the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. And they stood upon their feet. And we're staying upon our feet because we know our identity. We're obeying the Lord, right? And we have life now. We have entered into the light because we follow Yahushua, who you know as Jesus Christ. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. Great fear fell upon them which saw them. So who is seeing us? Who sees us with the spirit of life standing on our feet? That is the other nations. when we get the wisdom and knowledge, which is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, and we apply it to our life and we change, great fear enters into the heathen, our enemies. I'm going to show you that those are our enemies. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. The other nations are seeing us going from crack addicts to not doing drugs, forsaking drugs, forsaking whoredom, forsaking abortions, forsaking holidays. And now we're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. We're keeping the holy convocations in brotherhood. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And that's us going into the chariots. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. And that's how you know that it's talking about a chariot, because a cloud, according to Psalms, the book of Psalms, 104 and 3, the clouds are the chariots, which you know as a UFO. And their enemies beheld them. Right? Those are our enemies. And that's the reason why they don't want us to know this information that's in these books, that's in these literature, history, but the UPK has all that information. Right? The UPK is undefeated when it comes to information. Why you have shots, all the brothers, all the scholars, all the brothers before us, before me, who did who went into the libraries, took the time, the diligence to go and do the research. And now I'm able to this day to present it to my people. All right, that's something that I wanted to show, that there is no doubt that the so-called natives and so-called Hispanics are of the 12 tribes of Israel. And I have to show this because why? You have fake Israelites who are Negroes only. If you're not a Negro, they will accept a Hamite before they accept so-called native or Hispanic. Right, but this is the undeniable truth. All right, with that, I'm going to continue. We're going to go into these high holy days in the Hebrew, because right now we're going through. We went through what was it? Salakia, the memorial of the trumpet. We went through. Let me look at my notes. So I have it here. We went through the Day of Atonement. Right now we're going to Feast of Tabernacles. Right, so it's important to know our holy days, our holy convocations. All right, so I'm going to turn this over. Oh, it's already turned over. So we have the Sabbath. The Sabbath in the Hebrew is Shabbat. Shabbat. Shabbat, we have, look, this is in the book of Leviticus 23 and 3. Um, so the Sabbath would be Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, right? That's the Sabbath, right? This is a day of rest. Next we have next we have the Passover. The Passover in the Hebrew is Pas- Pasach. Pasach. And it's Pasach, and this is in 20 Leviticus 23 and 5. Right, this is the Passover. This is when the Lord passed over the children of Israel. He come, get the blood of the lamb and put it all on your door, so that the death angel see the blood and pass over the children of Israel and go and unalive the first born of the Egyptians, because they wouldn't let the children of Israel go. And we have the feast of unleavened bread. Feast of unleavened bread in the Hebrew is Chag Matazawat. Chag Ha Ma Taza Wa. Amatazawat. Chag. Chag is feast, right? Chag is feast. Ha is of. Matazawat, leavened bread. Matazawat. Let's see something. That's in Leviticus chapter verse 6. The root word is matazah. Matazah, which means unleavened. Unleavened. Matazah. Matazah is unleavened. Then we have yeah, 5, maybe 4. Okay. So next one is the Feast of First Fruit. Feast of First Fruits in the Hebrew is Chag. That's feast. Chag. Ha. That's of. Ba. Bakawarayam. 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 Chag ha bakawarayam. So it's oh, it's a lot. Chag ha ba ka wa ra ha ba ka wa ra yam. Chag ha ba ka wa ra yam. Feast of first fruit. The next one is memorial of blowing the trumpets. This one you say a car one, para wo I. The car one, sa ra wa I. The ra wa I. So this is za car one, za car one, sa ra wa ra wa I. So ra wa I. R one Ra Ra Wa. The Ra Wa I. So Sabbath, Ba'ath in the Hebrew, right? We have the Assyrian Shabbat, Passover. It's Pesach, Pasak. Then we have the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Chag, which means feast, Ha, oil, Matazawah. Matazah is the root word to mean unleavened. I mean, yeah, to mean unleavened. Hold on, am I forgetting something here? Unleavened. There we go. Then we have Feast of First Fruits. It's 20. Let's see. First fruits. The root word is bakawar. Bakawar, which means first fruits. The yum, of course, makes it plural, fruits. First fruit, first fruits, right? Bakawarium. Kaka bakawarium. Then we have memorial blowing of trumpets. That is 24. So memorial trumpets, we have Zakar one, Thara one. So Zakar one means remembering, memorial. Zakar one. And then Thara is right the blowing of trumpets in the meaning of an alarm, right? Because we used to blow the trumpets when we were going to war. Rather, if we were going to war, we were being attacked, right? Zakar one, Rawa. That's the blowing of trumpets. Our light, bow, and kiss the boots. Keep tuning in. One day you might see us at camp. Right? But it can only be done, Jacob Gamble. It can only be done to the men of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Make sure that when you go out to the streets and you encounter us, that the men who you are kissing the boots of is the true priests and prophets ordained by Christ, right? And Christ through commanding General Yohanan. But for now, Jacob Gamble, if you're tuning in, right? I know you desire to kiss our boots, right? But what you could do now is donate to the school. Give all the money that your people have stolen so we can raise up more schools and gather our people. That's another way you could kiss our boots. We don't care. We really don't care about you kissing our boots. We care about you giving back what you have stolen. And when I mean you, meaning your people who have set you up with the privilege that you have. So if you are truthful in what you say, you would try to donate to the school. Let me keep going. Day of Atonement. Day of Atonement in the Hebrew is Yawam Ha Kaparyam. Yawam Ha Kaparyam. That is Yah Wam Ha Ka Kaparyam. Ha Kaparyam. Yawam Ha Kaparyam in the Assyrian, Yah Wam Ha Ka Par. What's it like? Kapar Hakaparium. Then we have the Feast of Tabernacle. That's what we just went into on Wednesday night. That was the opening of Feast of Tabernacle. Feast of Feast of Tabernacles. Chag Ha Sa Kawa. Ha Sa Kawa. And it is Chag Ha Sa Ka Ha Sa Kawa. Chag Ha Sa Ka Sakawa. Feast of Tabernacle. And we have Feast of Dedication. Feast of Dedication is Chag, which is feast, Ha of Chanukah. Cha Na Cha. And we have Cha Ha Cha Na Cha. Cha 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 Na Cha. Ha, 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 ma, Hanukkah. And then Purim. Purim in the Hebrew is Waryum. Uh, Waryum. Ha, War, Waryum. Ha, War, Waryum. All right, so again, Day of Atonement. In the Hebrew is Yom HaKaporyum. That's Leviticus 23 and 27. 23 and 27. So Yom is day, Ha is of, Kaparyum, atonement. So it comes from the root word kapar, which means atone. Right? Atonement is kaparyum. Kapar is atone. And we have Feast of Tabernacles. Chag is feast. Ha is of. Sakawat. Sakawat. Let me get this charger. What's that? 26. 34. The Feast of Tabernacles. It comes from from the word sakah. The root word for a sakawat is sakah, which means booth, tent, right? Temporary shelter. Sakawat. That's tabernacles. So it's Chag Ha Sakawat. And we have Feast of Dedication. Feast again is Chag. Ha is of. Dedication is Chanukah. And I'm going to show you that because Christ kept the Feast of Dedication, right? We can prove that the right in the New Testament doesn't mention anything about the Feast of Dedication. Salaki doesn't mention anything about the Feast of Dedication, but in the New Testament it tells you that Christ kept the Feast of Dedication. And where do you find the Feast of Dedication? In the book of Second Ezra. What is it? Second Ezra. Salaki. Let me get this real quick. It is not second. First Maccabees 4:52 through 61. Right? It tells you about the Feast of Dedication. But in the New Testament, it tells you that Christ kept the Feast of Dedication. right? And we can prove that the Apocrypha is part of the Bible, right? It's not a separate collection of books. If you have the King James 1611, it's part of the Bible. And for the Spanish uh, readers, right? The Bible in Spanish is La Biblia del Oso. La Biblia del Oso has the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament, right? So, and we're gonna go into the uh, Purim. In the Hebrew is Pawariyam, right? This is in the book of Esther, which is Esther 9:20 to 31. These are all part of the holy convocations that as so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we must keep. And this is part of our identity. All right. Now, I'm gonna go real quick. Let me see how much time I have left. About 15 minutes. Okay. I'll go um, into the blue letter, and then we'll just break these down to kind of give you like the root word so you can understand. And then we're gonna go into dedication. So let me present. So all of these holy convocations are in the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. So the first one was the Sabbath. That's Leviticus 23 and 3. Leviticus 23 and 3. Again, we always do forward line and we uncheck. So, okay, no vowels. No vowels. All right, forward line, and we have Sabbath right here. Sabbath, Shabbat. Right, Shabbat, which means a day of rest. Next, we have the feast. So, like this is the Passover, which is verse 6. Also, like verse 5. Verse 5, forward line, Passover, Pesach. Pesach H6453. This is in the blue letter Bible, the Hebrew, in the ancient Hebrew, right? Passover. Pesach. Verse is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So we have here feast is Chag, right? That's feast. Ha matazawa. So the root word is matazah. When you look up matazah, it tells you unleavened bread. Unleavened bread, matazawa, matazah. Next, we have Feast of First Fruits, which is verse 20. verse 20. Where is this? First fruits. Ha bakawa. So like it. Bakawarayam. 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 And it comes from the root word bakawar. 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 And first fruit. Next feast or next, so like the next holy convocation is the memorial of blowing the trumpets. Verse 4. Verse 24. Here we have a memorial. Memorial is Zakarawam. It's like a Zakawa1. Zakara1. Which it's memorial. You look it up. Memorial remembrance. And the word is Tha-Rawa'ai. There's no Tha-Rawa'ai. So blowing of the trumpets. The significance is an alarm, a sound, a sound. It's a sound of warning, an alarm, a war cry, a battle cry, alarm of war. Zakar1, Tha-Rawa'ai. We have Day of Atonement, Leviticus 23 and 27. 23 and 27. So day is Yawam, is day. Ha is of, kapar yum, atonement. The root word is kapar, which means atone. Next one, Feast of Tabernacle, verse 34. Verse 34. So it tells you feast, chag, ha, of, sa, pawa. So like a sakawa, sakawa. The root word is saka. Saka. It's a booth, tent. Then we have the Feast of Dedication. So for the Feast of Dedication, you're going to look it up. It's H2598. H2598. So Kag is feast, ha of dedication. Ka na ka. Ka na ka. Dedication. Dedication. Kanaka. And then Rim is in the book of Esther. Let's find Esther. 9 and 26. They called 9 and 26. Wherefore they call these days Purim after the name of pure. So Purim, Pawarium. The root word is Pawar, which means lot or peace. Lot or peace. That's what Purim means. Right. So those are again the holy convocations in the Hebrew. Y'all should have taken notes. Let me go over anything else. The water for tuning in. I'm gonna go through these security announcements before I end the class. ISK security announcements. We are, so let me turn this over. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21 through Malachi, 18:21, Malachi 3:8 through 10 means 10. In the Hebrew, ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. The upcoming holy convocation is the closing of the Feast of Tabernacles, which is select. Let me see if I have that information. Tuesday, October 24th. Right, so plan to go to a school near you. Children are allowed. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, war scarf. Right. So any brother that wants to stand for the army of the Lord, get in all black. With that, I'm gonna take the water to all the brothers. Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatam for tuning in. The water to all the sisters. Yahweh Shema Alatam, Hashem Yahushai. Christ is missed.